Today for lunch, I'm going to be having some French fries from Culver's, and you probably can't tell because of the sun, but the drink, I got a diet root beer, and they only filled it up to like right here. That was it. So anyway, may as well have gotten a small. But I'll be eating these French fries. I haven't had them in a long time, and I've always liked their crinkle fries. I usually don't eat breakfast a lot because we do reviews in the morning. However, this morning I am having breakfast because it's a different situation. So I'm going to have some Eggo waffles. I've got 2 of those, and I have some expired sugar-free syrup. There's nothing wrong with it. It tastes fine even though it's supposed to be expired. But that is going to be my breakfast this morning. On this night, we were having breakfast for dinner. The kids were here, and it's an easy meal to make. Just to make some biscuits and fry some eggs and some sausage and have some bacon. And I had a lot more bacon than what was on this plate. For lunch, I'm having an egg sandwich and some Lay's potato chips. This is just like 1.5 boiled eggs and about a tablespoon of mustard, yellow mustard, about a tablespoon of light mayonnaise, and a heaping teaspoon of dill relish. So that is it. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be having some of this Rossetti's, I don't know how you pronounce it, pizza. Kevin actually did a review on this pizza for his lunchtime review channel, and he brought the rest home for me to enjoy, and for him to enjoy the rest of it too, because he didn't finish it all. And so that is what I'm having for dinner tonight. Tonight for dinner, we are having Kentucky hot brown stuffed chicken. We actually did a recipe on this. It was from Southern Living. This is the January-February 2022 Southern Living magazine, and that's where we got the recipe.
So you can't find it online?
No, you can't find it online, so you have to go watch the video. That's what you got to do. So you did it a couple of things differently this time.
The only thing I really did different was I crumbled the bacon up and mixed it with the cheese.
Right.
Because last time it had us just putting strips of bacon, like half strips of bacon, like in little slots.
Right.
I just mixed it up and stuffed it in the cheese. I mean, mixed it with the cheese, and the cheese is in every single slot I cut.
Right.
Which is like 6 slots in each one.
So instead of measuring out the cheese and having some left over, we used every single bit of the Boursin cheese.
Yeah, the bacon just got in the way when you were trying to put bacon and cheese and everything. I just stuffed them in there.
So mix the bacon in with the Boursin.
Yeah, and another thing is, I didn't worry about it this time. You shove it in there.
Yeah.
Don't stress about it.
Right. It's like a baby when the baby's first born.
Yeah,
don't be afraid to put the clothes on it. Yeah. You're not going to break it.
And I sliced the tomatoes up and just shoved them in there.
Tonight for dinner, Kevin and I are having chicken parmesan meatballs. This is out of that same Southern Living magazine that I showed you last night. When I made the recipe last night and when we did the one tonight for the channel, we did it. We made the videos like back to back on the channel, and because they were both excellent, they both came out of the same magazine. Like I said, I made it on July 26, 2022. So it's been 2 years that I've been thinking about this meal, but it is excellent. This is plenty of food by itself, but like in the picture, they're showing like a crusty piece of garlic toast or something like that. You could do that or could have salad or something, but it was enough food for us without anything else. Tonight for dinner, Kevin and I are having baked tacos, and I guess you can see them better from the side there. These are the stand tacos, and so I didn't have to have my little taco holder for them. I have some tomato here, but I didn't buy any lettuce. So normally I would put lettuce on there, but I thought, you know what? I'm not going to waste I'll have a lot left, and so there's no point in me buying a bunch of lettuce for just this meal. But I do like the Ortega taco sauce, so I will be adding some of this to each one like that. But to me, this is perfect. This is just ground beef and all the seasonings. I did a video on this of baked tacos, and so if you watch that video, that's exactly what this is, minus the refried beans. So Kevin's actually have refried beans. There's an extra one for me if I want it. But these all have the meat with the refried beans, and so that's what he will have. But that is our dinner tonight. Today for lunch, I'm having some toast with some Kroger seedless raspberry jam. I don't measure it out or anything like that, but I do use 35-calorie bread. So I like this because it is seedless. It's been in our favorites before. I didn't like necessarily do a review of it, but if you like seedless raspberry jam, this is a good one to buy. Tonight for dinner, Kevin and I are going to be having this Taste of the South Smokehouse beef brisket dip. This whole thing of dip is like 1,000 calories for the whole thing. So what we did was I split it and I put half of it in this dish for me, and then Kevin can eat the other half out of there. And so of course that'll be all that, but we're going to have it on Ritz crackers. So you might wonder, what do we do with stuff after we review it? Well, this has become our dinner for tonight. Today I am making some crumpets. I got in the mood to have these a few days ago, and so today's the day I'm going to make them. So I have done a whole video on making crumpets. I got this recipe from the Harry Potter, the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, I think is what it's called. And so you need a cup of flour. You need a tablespoon of sugar. So normally when I do a recipe video, I already have all the stuff measured out. Today I'm just getting it out as we go along. You need 1 teaspoon of yeast, which I have some yeast in here. I'm gonna get 1 teaspoon out. There's not even enough to save. Okay, so that packet has about 2 teaspoons in it. Then you need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you ever take home ec in high school, they tell you don't measure your stuff over the bowl because you could accidentally spill it and then you're going to ruin the whole mix. So you're not supposed to pour it over the bowl while you measure. And then you need a cup of milk. And you need a 1/4 cup of melted butter, which is 2 tablespoons. And I have that here. And so what you want to do is you want to whisk this together. And then you want to cover it. And I have a lid under this bowl. I have a lid. This is... this set we bought this at Walmart. It's a set, you get like, I think there's 4 total, there might be 5 total. But they're Pyrex bowls, and so they're clear bowls, but then you get the different color lids that go with the size bowl you need. And they're really nice. We've used these for everything. So, this takes, you need to let this sit, it's gonna make a noise. Not bad. You need to let this sit covered for an hour and a half and let it rise. It's supposed to be in a warm place, but it's room temperature here. It's about as warm as it's going to get in this house. So I'm going to let this sit for an hour and a half, and then we'll come back to it. So what you want to do is you want to put your forms, your round forms in your pan. You add some butter, and then you put in, it's like 1/3 cup of the mixture. And you let it sit here for like 5 minutes, and then you take the rings off. I use tongs to take the rings off. And, you know, sometimes they turn out perfect, sometimes they don't. Once you take them out of the pan, you do want to put them in the toaster. So you put them in the toaster on the lowest setting. And then these are ones that I have taken out of the toaster, and I am just adding butter and raspberry jelly. Tonight for dinner, we're having a junk food meal, which we have a lot, but I'm sharing it with you. So we're gonna share this bag of Tostitos. These are the Tostitos original chips, and they're awesome. We love them. They're big. You can fit a lot of cheese on there. And we halved the jar of Tostitos medium salsa con queso. We heated it up in the microwave, and because I like it a little bit warm. And then I will, on each one of my, after I dip my chip in the cheese. I will put a jalapeno on each one of mine as I eat it because that's just the way I like it. Now Kevin will just eat it with cheese and that's it. But I like the added jalapeno slice. So that is going to be our dinner tonight. And I will eat until all this is gone. Tonight for dinner, Kevin and I are having a chicken parmesan with garlic aioli and a balsamic reduction. And so Ashley has made this before and she's made it with pesto. I did not make the pesto because Kevin doesn't care for it, and so I could take it or leave it too, so that's okay. I just left it off. And when Ashley makes them, she puts them on a sandwich and it's huge and it's delicious, but we just eat it straight off the plate. If you wanted to, you could have some pasta, some spaghetti noodles or something underneath, but honestly, it doesn't need, you don't need anything else because the chicken breasts are so big. I am going to have for a snack 2 waffles and some syrup, and I'm just gonna, I like to break these apart and dip them in the syrup, and I enjoy that, so that's just gonna be my little snack. Tonight for dinner, Kevin and I are both going to have some of this Durkee cheese spread. I did a video on YouTube. If you look for Durkee cheese spread, you'll find it. It is absolutely delicious. It's kind of like, it would remind you of the texture of beer cheese, but it has a completely different flavor. Because that Durkee, the Durkee sauce is kind of like it tastes like the inside of a deviled egg. It's really delicious. But anyway, we're going to have that and Ritz crackers, and that is dinner tonight. Tonight for dinner we are having chili, and I like to have mine with some cheese. We also have some Tostitos if I wanted to crush those up on the top, but I usually just eat cheese with mine, and Kevin likes to have some Frank's Red Hot with his and some Ritz crackers. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be making some southern pork tenderloins. So I'm going to take some panko breadcrumbs and I'm going to pour them in my bowl. And this is going to be for my breading, and I can always add more if I need more. I have some pork chops over here, pork tenderloin, and so I can add more to this if I need to. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of parsley flakes. So I have 3 teaspoons equal a tablespoon. So I'm going to get 3 right here. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of onion powder. And then I'm going to also use a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm not going to, like half a teaspoon like this. So just mix this together. And then I'm going to take my pork tenderloins and I'm going to, I need to open these. We go to this meat store. It's called Uncle Charlie's Meats when we like to buy pork tenderloin. And this is a really, really small one. And they individually wrap them, which I think is really nice. So you just want to take it like this. I have oil in a frying pan, and I have my oil heating up right now. But then I will put this in the oil and just let it fry. And you notice I didn't have to dredge it. I know sometimes I dredge it through egg and then milk to get it to the stick, but you don't have to do that. You can see it's sticking fine, just like this. So I don't have a particular time that I'll like leave these frying in the oil. I'm sure some people have a certain amount of time, like 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on that side. I don't. When they start looking brown around the edges, I'll flip them over and then I take them out. And here is how they look. I put them on a paper towel to drain the grease, and then I transfer them over to our plates.